Welcome to Shom Machshava on the Daf. Shir sponsor Nishmas Am B'Yakashom Le'Abbas Yitzchok. We're holding in Sanhedrin Daf Membes. The Gemara in Amud Aleph speaks about the concept of Kiddush HaChodesh, and the Gemara tells us that any time we do Kiddush HaChodesh, it's considered to be a Kabalas Ha'Shechinah. To an extent that the Gemara says, "Kol mevorach al HaChodesh v'zmanoi keilu mikabel pnei Shechina." And the Gemara goes on to say, down in the very Bishmael, if this will be the only thing Am Yisrael has, dayom, that will be enough. So much so is the idea of Kiddush HaChodesh. We have to understand what's the reason the Kiddush HaChodesh has to do with the Kabalas Ha'Shechinah. Obviously, Api Kabbalah, there's Inyoni Amukim over here, what the Levanah represents. But there's something that we can connect to, an idea that we can be mishayach ourselves based on the pshat. And to understand this, I want to bring here what my Rebbe or Moshe Shapiro Zitzal used to say in this week's Parsha, Pasha's Boy. We know the first mitzvah shenitztavu Yisrael, the first mitzvah that Am Yisrael received is mitzvah's Kiddush HaChodesh. HaChodesh hazeh lachem Rosh Chodashim. And over Teimais, what's pshat? Well, Am Yisrael is going out of Mitzrayim. And the first mitzvah they need to get, what would you think would be the first mitzvah? The first mitzvah should be, Kadosh Baruch Hu is the Anoich Hashem Elokecho, Hashem Echad. You have maybe a mitzvah of Shabbos. The mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh is the first mitzvah. What's shot in that? So Ramesh used to explain that the idea of Kiddush HaChodesh is not just another mitzvah, but this defines and puts Am Yisrael's mission in the world into context. Because as the Gemara tells us, Am Yisrael moinim leLevanah. Am Yisrael count based on the moon, while Umas Ha'olam moinim lechama, they count based on the sun. The moon has a cycles of months. Every 30 days approximately, the moon comes back to its original place. The sun has a cycle of a year. Every 365 days, it comes back to its original place. The sun really does not have a monthly cycle. It's arbitrary that we divide it to months. And the moon doesn't have an annual cycle because nothing happens once a year or every 12 months. So Moshe explained, Am Yisrael moinim leLevanah, because the Levanah has in it the idea of Chodesh. Chodesh is the lashon of Kiddush. Kiddush, the Levanah's mischadeshes, is always being renewed. Every single month, the moon disappears and then it's reborn. There's a rebirth of the moon. The Chama, the sun, on the other hand, does not change. It always stays the same way. And that's the idea of the Shana. The Shana is Lashon Yashan, Lashon old. As the Ramban tells us at the end of this week's Parsha, the main kfira in the world, the Avia voice of kfira, is to say that the Olam is Kadmon, which means that there's no creator, Chalila. The world was always here and always will be here. There's nothing new. It's just constant where it is. Yashon, Lashon, it's old. There's no renewal and there's no process. The idea of Bria Sa'ilam and the Emunah Rebbeinu Shalom is that there is a creator to the world. And the world has a beginning. And if it has a beginning, it has an end. There's a process. It's going from one place to another. The world has an end because it's going to come to a new place later. Because Baruch created the world for a process in order to achieve a certain goal, and that's what we're going to. So explain Rav Moshe, when Am Yisrael starts their process, the first initial mitzvah is to put the framework of what Am Yisrael is all about. Am Yisrael is carrying the flag of HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the world. The Gilui Shem Shamayim. Am Zu Yatzai Tili Tilosi Sepeir. Am Yisrael is coming to show that there's a HaKadosh Baruch Hu, there's a creator to the world. So the first initial mitzvah is to come in the idea into the framework of Kiddush, of saying that has a process, has a beginning, has an end. L'kol dover, everything in the world has a zman and a mokim. The zman gives you the framework where you operate. Similarly to the beginning of the world. When the world started, what was the first thing that was created? Says the Vilna Gaon, Bereshis Nami Maimaru, Bereshis starts zman, time. We start the idea of time, the time of the world. When Am Yisrael starts, their first mitzvah is the mitzvah of their time. What's the time of Klal Yisrael? It's the time of Kiddush. It's a time of creation. It's a time where we have the process of Gilui Shamayim in the world. According to this, let's go back to our Gemara. Our Gemara says, whenever we do Kiddush HaChodesh, U'mikal pnei Shechina. And according to this Am Yisrael is similar to the Levanah. As we say here in our Gemara, Shem Asidim Lischadesh Kemoiso. The renewal that the Levanah represents is the renewal of Am Yisrael they're presenting in this world. And Am Yisrael is Gilu Shechina down here in the world. Kol Mokum Shegolu Shechina Imoim. So when Am Yisrael Mivorech HaChodesh, they're joining back together to that initial mitzvah of Kiddush HaChodesh that belongs specifically to Klal Yisrael. And here we're doing Kabalas Ha'Shechinah, the Gilui of a Kadosh Baruch Hu in the world, the good of the system where Am Yisrael operates to reveal a Kadosh Baruch Hu in the world. Anyone who wants to join the Shomach Shava email list to WhatsApp, please email shomachshava@gmail.com.